Hello, welcome to My Secret Obsession. I'm Cherish Lively, and today we are listening to the first chapter of Better Than Gelato by Libby Tanner. Goodbye, mind-numbing business classes. Hello, hunky Italian men. When Juliet Evans scores a job as a nanny in Italy, she's ready for a year of excitement and glamour. She's not ready for a diabolical 6-year-old who swears like a pirate and hurls silverware with terrifying accuracy. Chapter 1. I'm not scared. I'm not even nervous or uneasy. The man next to me is terrified. A huge, dark hand squeezes the armrest so tight, I see the sharp peaks of a knuckle. He tightens the seatbelt another millimeter, the blue vinyl fabric straining against his bulk. I've never seen a man big enough to wrestle grizzly bears look like he wants to curl into a ball and suck his thumb. A flight attendant walks down the narrow aisle and gives him a reassuring smile. He turns away from her, toward the small oval window. As he shifts, the sleeve of his t-shirt comes up, revealing a tattoo across his large right biceps. It says, "Fearless," in bold, jagged letters. I look at the hunch of his massive shoulders, and the irony is too much for me. I try to smother a giggle, but I am unsuccessful. "Something funny?" he asks in a low voice. "Absolutely not," I say. It comes out with British accent, which is unfortunate because I am not British. I sometimes accidentally switch into accents when I'm nervous. His eyes bore into me and the muscles in his jaw tighten. I clear my throat and continue in my regular California accent. "Okay, maybe a little funny. Big tough guy. Scared of flying? Ironic tattoo?" He does not look amused. "It's definitely less funny now that you're looking at me like you wish me bodily harm." I discreetly look for a flight attendant. Maybe it's not too late to change seats. "You can stop shaking, Blondie. I'm not going to break your arm." I'm not really shaking, just tapping my feet on the worn blue carpet. "But if I feel my Big Mac coming up," he continues, "I'm not grabbing that motion sickness bag. It's going right on your shoes." I can tell from the slant of his eyes he's not joking. "Did you just threaten to vomit on a total stranger?" I ask. "Did you just make a grown man feel like a sissy baby chicken head?" he snaps back. "Sissy baby what? What is this guy talking about?" "According to my kids, that's the worst thing you can be called," he replies. My eyebrows shoot up. "You have kids?" "Yep, 2 of them. But I tell you what, I got that fearless tattoo before they came along. Being a dad brings a whole new kind of fear into your life." "How old are they?" I ask. "My boy Samuel is 9, and my little girl Tanya is 6. "That's like my girl." He gives me a once-over. "How old are you? There's no way you got a 6-year-old daughter." "Well, no." My cheeks heat up. "I'm 20, but I'm a nanny. I'm going to be, and the little girl is 6. "A nanny, huh? Do you have any younger brothers or sisters?" he asks. "No." I shake my head. "All older." "Ever spent much time with a 6-year-old girl?" he prods. "No," I repeat, irritation creeping into my voice. There were surprisingly few 6-year-olds living in my college dorm. "Good luck," he says with a smirk. The plane starts shaking as we accelerate down the runway, and my seatmate mutters under his breath. Can't tell if he's praying or swearing. He has the same look my best friend Maggie had when I convinced her to go on the zipper at the county fair. I had to sing the Star-Spangled Banner at the top of my lungs to keep her from puking. We were 12. I'm not going to sing for this guy, but I could try to take his mind off of things. I do love the shoes. "So, why are you going to Milan?" I ask. The plane picks up speed. "Work." He looks down at the runway flying past. "What do you do?" "Business consulting." He takes a couple of fast breaths. "I'm a business major myself," I say. I was supposed to take a bunch of obscenely dull classes this semester, But fate has intervened. An opportunity fell right into my lap, like it was meant to be, you know? I look at his blank face. He doesn't know. I continue undeterred. I heard about this nanny gig from my Italian professor. I called the family that very day, and they hired me and bought me a ticket to Milan. I'm waiting for him to cheer at my good luck, but he doesn't. He just stares at the back of the seat in front of him as sweat trickles down his temple. So, now instead of dying a slow death from human resources management, I'm going to wander down cobblestone streets taking pictures and eating gelato. The plane is leveled off now, and the shaking is mostly over. He turns to look at me. If you hate business classes, why are you majoring in business? His face is still flushed, but his breathing sounds better. Doesn't matter, I reply. The point is, I've miraculously escaped all of that for a year. He tips his head to the side. And what about when the year's over? Then I slog through 2 more years and graduate. And then, he presses, then I move back to my suffocatingly small hometown and run the family dry cleaning business. The thought is so depressing my toes curl up, but I try not to let it show. And who came up with this plan? My dad. His lips dip into a frown. I see. And do you always let other people make your choices for you? This guy sounds less like a business consultant and more like a therapist. It's not like that, I reply automatically. If you say so, he says with an annoying shrug. This conversation is the worst. I should have just let him puke on me. I spend the flight reassuring myself that my seatmate doesn't know what he's talking about. After all, I made this decision, didn't I? And sure, I've never worked with kids, or been to Italy, or even left the US. But I've a feeling deep in my bones that I meant to do this. After what feels like days, the flight attendant tells us to prepare for landing. Even over the scratchy intercom, the Italian sounds incredible. I hang on every vowel, get lost in the up and down cadence. I know she's telling me to fasten my seatbelt and put my tray up, but it sounds like she's telling me to embrace life and live to the fullest. And also that she likes my hair. When our plane lands, I walk down the narrow hallway and out into the main airport. I'm in Italy. Actual Italy. I close my eyes and soak up this feeling, this certainty that the best year of my life has officially started. I follow the crowd of travelers and make my way to baggage claim. I'm trying to walk normally, like my carry-on isn't that heavy. But the truth is, it is that heavy. My hands are sweaty, and I'm trying to make them not sweaty, but that's not a thing I know how to do. I arrive at the baggage carousel and feel a moment of panic. How will I find my new boss? I look frantically from unfamiliar face to unfamiliar face, feeling more anxious by the second. And then I see a man holding a sign that says, Juliet Evans. He has wildly curly black hair and a full face. Next to him is a woman and a little girl. The 3 of them look just like the photo Marco sent me. Relief washes over me. My whole body tingles with excitement. I walk over, grinning like an idiot, and say, This is me. Giulietta, so happy to meet you. I am Marco Rossi. He's speaking faster than my Italian teacher, and it takes my brain an extra moment to match his words to their English counterparts. This is Sophia, my wife, he says, motioning to a slender woman with glowing olive skin and glossy dark hair. I wonder what miracle products she uses to make her hair shine that way. She kisses my cheeks and says, Welcome. I'm at least 4 inches taller than her, and she has to stand on her tiptoes to reach my cheeks. Grazie, I say back. I probably sound like a 5-year-old, but I'm so excited to speak to real Italians, I don't care. This is Isabella, Marco continues. Isabella is skinny with straight brown hair that falls past her shoulders. She's missing a front tooth, but I've heard that's normal for kids her age. She slips her hand into mine and asks, Are you a Barbie? I have neither the bust nor the accessories of Barbie, but I guess I'm tall, blonde, and skinny enough to get lumped into that category. I shrug and say, sort of. She holds my hand as we wait for my suitcases. At one point, she drops my hand, wipes the sweat onto her pants, and grabs my hand again. I send a heartfelt plea to my nervous system to take the sweating down a notch. We step outside the airport, and I let the sights and sounds and smells of Italy wash over me. At this moment, there's a bunch of leering cab drivers, honking horns, and the scent of cigarettes and car exhaust. Still, it feels magical. September in Milan is chillier than September in California, and I wish I'd grabbed my jacket from my suitcase. Marco leads us to the car, which looks like a child's toy. The fact that we all managed to fit inside of it seems to bend the laws of physics. Marco simultaneously carries on a conversation with me while conversing with the other drivers through his open window. His conversation with me contains fewer swear words. "This is Izza's first year of full-day school," he said. "You'll be dropping her off at 8 a.m. and picking her up at 4. Sophia will go with you tomorrow to show you." I nod and look out the window at the city of Milan. Beautiful old buildings, cobblestone streets, Italians nonchalantly going about their amazing Italian lives. I can't stop smiling. Oh no, has my smiling crossed the line from friendly to manic? It's happened before. I do my best to smile like a normal person who is pleasant and happy, instead of a lunatic who's broken free of the asylum. "She looks tougher than the last girl," Issa says. Sophia gives Issa a warning look, but Issa turns to me and says, "The last nanny quit." Oh. I try to hide my surprise, but I have a terrible poker face. Sophia flushes in embarrassment, and Issa giggles in delight. "Why did she quit?" I ask Issa in a super casual, not a big deal sort of way. Issa looks at me with wide, innocent eyes, and I know before she even opens her mouth that the next words she speaks will be a lie. "I have no idea," she says. She maintains strong eye contact, daring me to ask a follow-up question. Are all 6-year-olds this intimidating? "Sophia and I will be home by 6, Marco continues in a rush. "You're welcome to eat dinner with us, but when you meet your friends, I'm sure you'll want to go out in the evening, and that's fine too." He reaches into his briefcase and pulls out a black cell phone and hands it to me. "The phone is on us. You can just pay to put more minutes on the card as it runs out. It's already full of numbers. There's a nice group of friends our previous nannies have spent time with, and I'm sure they'll be calling soon." Marco pulls into a tiny parking lot full of tiny cars just like his. There are 4 tall apartment buildings surrounded by trees. With Marco's help, I lug my suitcase to apartment building C. The elevator is too small for all of us to go up at once, so Marco brings me up first, and Sophia and Isabella follow. As soon as Isabella walks in the door, she gives me a tour, pointing out doors and windows as if, being American, I might not recognize such things. The Rossi's apartment is small, but bright. The couch is the dark red of sun-dried tomatoes, and the curtains are a sheer, sunny yellow. I catch a balcony to the right and a kitchen to the left before Issa drags me down the hall to my room. It's perfect. Small and cozy with a wardrobe tucked in one corner and bed and nightstand tucked in the other. The bed has a turquoise comforter and 2 giant pillows with striped pillowcases. Issa settles onto the bed and offers commentary on each item in my suitcase as I unpack. Marco is a fashion designer, and Isabella has strong opinions on clothes. "That's a lot of jeans," she says. "Why do you have so many?" "I wear them everywhere," I say, and Isabella furrows her brow. "Do you work in construction?" she asks. I laugh and shake my head. "No." "Then you're wearing the wrong clothes," she says straight-faced. "You'll be the only one at school pickup wearing jeans. But don't worry, I will tell you all the clothes you should be wearing instead. You're lucky to have me." I laugh. "I think you're right." I like this girl. She's funny and smart. The nanny gig is going to be a breeze. "I would rather light myself on fire." Issa punctuates this proclamation by throwing a fistful of colored pencils all over the kitchen. Her eyes are wild, and her fine hair sticks out from her head like the halo of an angry god. The homework page she's supposed to color lies on the dark mahogany table next to her overturned backpack. My first full day as a nanny has been challenging. Issa was scowly and grumbling in the morning, but who isn't? She threw a plate against the wall when Sophia put the wrong snack in her bag. But who hasn't? Sophia edges along the counter toward Issa's position by the fridge. She moves slowly, so as not to enrage Issa further. Marco left for Portugal this morning for a fashion summit of some sort. So, Sophia's on her own. "Little mouse," she says, "it's just one page. You can do one page. One tiny little page, amor? I would not color those triangles if you gave me 1,000,000 gazillion euros." Yikes. Good luck with that one, Sophia. This is when I'm glad I'm the nanny and not the mom. I tiptoe down the plush gray carpet to my room, but stop at the door. Wait, is helping with homework supposed to be part of my job? I creep back down the hall and peek around the corner to make sure Sophia has it all under control. She does not have it under control. She has the eyes of a sickly wildebeest facing a hungry lion. If my mom were here, she would whip Issa into shape in no time. She raised 5 kids, and not a single one of us would dare to raise our voice at her. But I'm not my mom, and I don't know how to whip people into shape. I think for a minute, then zip to my room and grab the adult coloring book I brought for the plane. It is underwater scenes that are supposed to be relaxing to color. By the time I return to the kitchen, Issa's standing on her chair, shrieking. "Excuse me, Issa, could I borrow a few of your pencils? I can't find mine." Issa and Sophia look at me startled. Issa blinks. "Maybe just 3? I ask and bend over to pick up 3 colored pencils from the tile floor. I make sure Issa gets a good look at the cover of my coloring book. "Is that okay?" Issa nods her head and goes back to screaming, but it's not quite as loud. I walk to the living room, leaving the kitchen door open behind me so Issa can see me settle into a navy armchair, select the page, and begin coloring. "No, I won't!" She's still yelling in the kitchen, but it's clear she's distracted. "Leave me alone!" she yells at Sophia, and I hear Sophia murmur something as she leaves the kitchen and heads to her bedroom. It takes 30 seconds for Issa to stomp over to my chair. "What are you doing?" she demands. "I'm coloring," I tell her. "Thanks for lending me your pencils. They're really nice." "That doesn't look like any of my coloring books," she says. "It's not. It's a coloring book for grown-ups. My mom got it in a special store." Her brow furrows as she works up the courage to ask for a page, but I don't make it easy for her. I keep coloring, as though I don't notice her opening and closing her mouth. Finally, she asks, "Could I have a page from your book to color?" "Of course," I reply immediately. "Choose any page you like." She takes her time and finally settles on an ocean scene with a tortoise and some jellyfish. She carefully pulls the page out and sets it on the black chrome coffee table. I go back to coloring my dolphins, and she heads to the kitchen to pick up all the pencils she threw. She comes back and lays them on the table next to her page. We color in companionable silence for 20 minutes. In my head, I make a list of all the positive things about Issa. She didn't cry at school drop-off this morning when most of the other kids did. She's funny. Calling our bus driver a monkey face was mean, but also hilarious. She's got a pretty good arm. Those pencils went everywhere. "Do you like coloring?" Issa asks me. "I do," I say. "It helps me calm down." "Me too," she says. She finishes the tortoise and shows it to me proudly. "I think you have a real talent," I say, meaning it. "I bet you could color anything and make it look awesome." I can't tell if I'm being too obvious, so I keep my head down and color my seaweed. Out of the corner of my eye, I see her go to the kitchen and come back with her homework page. It takes her 2 minutes to complete it. "Nice pattern," I say. I think you should have made the dolphins bluer, she says of my picture. All the dolphins I've seen look bluer. That's a good tip for next time, I say as Sophia comes into the living room. You finished your homework, Issa scowls. Yes, I finished. It took 2 seconds. Neither one of them mentions the 15 minutes of hysterics that preceded it. Well, I'm headed to bed, I say. I lean over and give Issa a kiss on the head. Good night. I brush my teeth, change into my pajamas, and snuggle under my turquoise comforter and check my email. I have a sweet message from my mom and dad, and an email from Sharon, my college advisor. Sharon is a large woman who swears a lot and hugs a lot and gets things done. I know she had to do some fast talking to get the scholarship office to sign off on this year in Milan. When the school is paying your tuition, they don't love it when you take off to Europe. Sharon pointed out that it would be a good educational experience, and I'm pretty sure she bribed them with front row tickets to all the home basketball games. Her son is the starting forward, and the team is on fire this year. She reminds me to pick out my classes for next year and get them to her by the end of the month so they can get approved by the scholarship office. I look at the list and my eyes glaze over. I would rather swim naked with piranhas than sit through a class called Statistical Analysis of Supply Chain Economics. I'll choose my classes tomorrow, when I've had another day to settle in. I'm about to turn off the lamp on the nightstand when there's a soft knock on my door. Come on in, I call. Sophia opens the door and takes a tiny step inside. I just wanted to say thank you for helping with Issa tonight, she says. She can be pretty stubborn. No problem, I say. I give her the most confident smile. When she leaves, I admit the truth to myself. That creature hurling colored pencils and shrieking is more velociraptor than child. I turn out the light and pull the blanket all the way up to my chin. What in the world have I gotten into? Thank you for sharing your time with me. Your time and attention are truly appreciated. If audiobooks are your thing, you can listen to full novels on My Secret Obsession at Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and Apple. If you enjoyed this reading, please follow, subscribe, or give a thumbs up. Your support means everything to me. Until we meet again, goodbye and happy reading.